on skills this week?
We worked on that play for like 3 or 4 weeks. It's just so much different, like, in the game. Like, in practice, I'm like, okay, I have time. I got in the game, I was like, I mean, he called the play, and it's like, I caught it, and all I wanted to do was, like, just get it out as fast as I could. I was like, I don't want to get sacked. I don't want to get strip sacked. I don't want to throw the pick. Like, I was just, like, thinking too much about it. Because I can make the throw. Trust me, I can throw. Like, I can throw.
Did you know coming out of your hand that it was going to be short? Did it feel good off the hand?
It felt the same. Like, if I probably would have set my feet, it would probably have been, like, a couple yards farther. But I threw it the same as I had been, like, all of practice. I just didn't, like, because I wasn't thinking, like, okay, set my feet and, like, make a perfect throw. I just thought, just get it back to him. So I was just trying to, like, get it back to him. And then, like, after I saw that he dropped it and I saw, like, how out of place they were and, like, how open it was, that's when, like, I was like, dang, like, could have ended the game right there or something.
Do you have a little bit more respect for what he has to do on a day-to-day
Oh
now?
my gosh, that's crazy. Cause I told him I couldn't see I can't see the rush, like, cause I'm trying to catch it and I'm not trying to like look down the field and then look back. I'm trying to catch it, take a couple steps, and I'm trying to see if like he's open. So I was like, is the rush coming? Like that stuff was hard. I see why they get paid a lot.
What is?
Say anything you did after?
Yeah, he said something. He's kind of like he said some stuff, and now he just laughs at me when people are around. They talk about it. He just laughs at me because he knows. So
What did Tay say to you?
he just laughs. They all kind of like just laughed. If the outcome would have been different, they probably wouldn't have laughed. But I'm glad they laughed because we won. So.
Do you want another chance at it? Maybe not this week.
Oh,
but
yes.
Do you want another chance?
Oh, I talked about it after the game. I was like, hey, we need to put in a different play. Like, we need to do something else. Like, cause I can get it. And it's just fun. It's just fun, like, having those tricks and stuff out there.
Did you throw any at Bixby?
Yes. I threw one pass. Yeah, I threw one pass. I was like 1 for 1, like 36 yards. So my keeper yards like 158.3.
Coach Gundy, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask you. You mentioned the trick plays.
Mm.
What was it? What was the focus there? Because you got the reverse before that. Then that was it. Kind of just to consider effort to make sure you got the ball in your hands there. What was the focus there?
The focus, I think it was just to keep them like off balance. Like, just hit them with some stuff they haven't seen before, and then like we haven't really put out there before. So just going from that one to that one, they're kind of like scrambling all over the place. Just had a big gain, so just like to catch them off guard. I know like we did, but next time, if we do run next time, you gotta make the throw.
Do you have more trick plays that you haven't showed yet, ready to go?
I don't know if I'm at liberty to say.
Right. Well, I'm not saying to do this week. I'm just saying in the future. Do you have more that you kind of haven't shown? I guess.
If we don't, I'm gonna ask about it.
That's fair.
Coach Gundy said that after you attempted the pass, he said pretty quickly you bounced back and were being kind of lighthearted about it and everything. What is it about the game that makes you kind of able to have that, or what is it about your personality, I guess, that makes you able to move on pretty quickly, move on to the next thing?
I try not to like dwell on one thing. Like you miss a pass and stuff, but I mean it's not about like you in terms of like out there in the field. Like even though I missed a pass, like we still have like 2 more downs. I'm not gonna like pout. And then say I pout and I miss a block, and that block could set up Jalen and like my guy tackles him or something like that. So you just can't like get down on yourself, especially in a game like that you need. Like Coach Gundy tells us every single week, everyone's gonna make a mistake. As long as you make that mistake going full speed and 100%, then like it's okay. So just making that mistake and just like coming back knowing that like the team needs me. They don't need me out there hanging my head or pouting about one mistake. So just like coming back.
What was your perspective of the touchdown catch you made to score the first touchdown of the game? Or first offensive touchdown, I guess.
I mean, because I asked Spencer about our play earlier before, where like the crosser type kind of play like we had, and he said he was gonna look for those. And those play when I was running the crossers, they'd been open like most of the game. So I felt like if they double tear or something like that the crosser. I just had a feeling that the crosser may have been open. So when Spencer saw me and I saw him, like, and he threw the ball, I don't think I was thinking just catch it, no spectacular play, just catch the ball,
You were probably 9 or 10, but do you remember what you were doing the day that they went up to Iowa State and lost in 2011?
No, I just remember just the end of the game and like the fans like storming the field and like being like a big deal.
Was that a, I don't know, traumatic moment for you, but I imagine that didn't feel so great growing up in Oklahoma State, okay?
Yeah, because you win that game and you beat OU, and then like most likely you play for the national championship. So like you could have a national championship. So like I was very disappointed.
Do you remember Gundy dancing for the first time that year?
No, I don't remember that one. I don't remember that one.
What do you think now when he dances?
I actually like called him like because we all got in, and like we haven't really like done one of those like this year. As far as like I don't think we did that in high school. Like high school we kind of like expected to win, so that was. But like so I hadn't been a part of those in a while. So we got in like we were doing it. I was like yeah, and then I saw him come in. And I was like, come on, like get in the middle, like let's go, like you lead this party. So that was cool.
How good are his dance moves?
I don't know how he gets that low with his knees. That was like uber impressive because I can't even do that. Like because he got like basically like on his knees, basically did the Matrix and it was like swaying like back and forth. Like I don't know if it's his ankles, his knees. Like he's probably more flexible than me.
At what point did this season, or maybe in off season, did you kind of start to realize like, hey, Jalen Warren, like he's that dude?
I knew that from the spring. Like in the spring when he came in, and like we would have our scrimmages and our practices. Like he'd be making plays, like his jump cuts and his vision, all that stuff. Like we all saw that in the spring. So it was just a matter of time. Like when he gets in and gets his shot, that like the stuff and things that he was gonna do. So we've been to that. So like the stuff that he's doing is not a shock to or a surprise to anyone. He comes up there, he works extremely hard every single day. Day after games, he goes to the lifts, and then when we do sprints, he's in the top 5, even after having 30 some odd carries like every single game. So whether he was getting 30 carries or 4 carries, he'd be the same person every single day.
I guess we heard he hasn't missed one optional lift the day after the game. Is that surprising?
That's very surprising. Because the beating that he takes, I would still be in bed. So the fact that he goes and does that, I mean, it just shows more about like himself and his leadership in order to like him go and lift, and like other guys see him because we all look up to him. So when other guys see him lifting, and it kind of like clicks in your mind like, hey, if he's out there and like what he did, then I can get myself out of bed and stop being lazy and go out there and lift after a game.
How early in the morning are those lifts?
It's not early at all. Oh. The lifts are like 2 p.m.
Has playing in Boise and Austin prepared you for Ames and Lubbock and Morgantown for the rest of the season?
Yes. Honestly, I would dare to say Boise was louder as far as like the whole course of the game. Just because like it kind of like felt like on top of you. Boise was definitely the loudest place I've ever played in terms of like just like the sea of blue. It kind of like overwhelms you. It doesn't mess with you, but it just like you like it's like an actual like real game. And like Texas, like the aura of Texas, like the stadium is so big. It's a bunch of people and stuff like that. Like the people in the stands and the bench are close, so you're kind of like close to them, and they're talking mess the whole game and stuff like that. So that felt good too. But like, I mean, at a certain point, you can't really focus about all that. Like as Gundy says, like there's 11 people on the field at a time. So whether we were up 20 or like when we were down like 14, I never really was like, oh my gosh, like this is a like tough place to play. Even though it is a great atmosphere and everything, you just kind of have to focus on the game and tune everything else out.